Welcome to TRS. We are live. Hey, we're gonna get out of here real soon, but I did want to point out, in doing my research on your IMDb has no trivia whatsoever about you, and I was just curious, if somebody watches this and takes it, what kind of trivia should there be on there? What are we missing? What's an interesting thing that nobody's ever asked you? Was once a bullfighter, something like that.
Was once a bullfighter. I mean, I don't even know what the trivia would be. I was born. I'm trying to go back and kind of walk through it. Yeah. Oh, one of the trivia would be that how many different colleges and universities did I go to? Go ahead, guess.
I think I know that one.
What is it?
Another interview. 5, 4 or 5?
6
colleges, not universities. 6. Okay.
Six college and university. I started at Washington State University, graduated from San Diego State University, and somehow managed to do it in 4 years. No idea.
And you made friends along the way at every stop.
I did.
I spent 5 years at a college that I did not attend.
What?
Down the road. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of drinking. They thought I went to class there. There were people I drank with every week that thought I was a student. I didn't tell them.
That's funny. I don't know if so that would be one piece of trivia. I don't know what the other trivia would be. I think that
I'm just fishing. You don't have to have something. I was always like, nobody ever asked me like about my professional boxing career.
Oh,
well, what about? I mean, you were that many different places. You've met a lot of different people. You've got that last name. Did you ever have a good nickname? Anything that ever stuck around for a bit, or?
Every single person calls me Stryker, except for one person. My best friend growing up, a guy named Brady, who's he'll never listen to this thing. He, for some reason, thought it was hilarious, starting at the age of I don't know how old, to just call me Stroker. So he's never called me with Stroker. Awful.
Yeah.
It's awful.
We all have that friend. We all have that friend.
Yeah. It's literally, as soon as you said that, I could picture like 3 people I know in the friends group that, and one of them might be in this call right now.
Yeah. With apologies. He's right.
All right. What about Bradley? Do you go by Bradley normal? My brother is Brad, and I have another friend, Brad, that I call Brah because it's funny. But do you always go by Bradley? Is that your preferred?
So my entire life I was Brad, and then when I got into this business, well, essentially when I got into the modeling business, I had an agent in San Diego called Jet Set, which was kind of known for this sort of surfy sort of vibe thing they did. And I worked with them when I was in college at San Diego State, and she told me when I met with her, she goes, Brad Stryker. She goes, what's your real name? I said, Brad Stryker. And she goes, is your name Bradley by any chance? I said, yeah. She goes, perfect. And I said, why Bradley? Why? And she goes, because Brad is taken. Brad Pitt, which is so funny if you think about it now, because of course Bradley Cooper and Bradley Whitford forgot.
That guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Bradley comes along and ruins it.
Exactly. I don't actually care if people call me Bradley Stryker, but when I'm on set, the director usually asks me, what do you prefer to be called? And I just tell him to call me Stryker.
I think Zaz has our last question here that he wanted to ask. We talked about it in a pre-show before you joined.
When you and Al Miro are together, like if you guys touch fingertips, like are you afraid to like take your shirts off at the same time, worrying about you're going to decimate half of Canada? Like, is that like an actual concern that you two have?
Are you kidding me? Al looks like an alien. That guy is unbelievable.
Oh, Jesus.
Jim, have you seen that man's body? It's unbelievable. Every time I go,
yours too.
I know. I'm 46 years old and I'm married with a kid. Like, I'm doing my best. But Al still looks like some sort of a Greek god. It's unbelievable. I don't know what the guy eats. I think he just must eat grass. Like this, I can't understand how his body looks like that. It's unbelievable.
I do not allow myself a carb, Al.
What I was gonna say was the thing that's interesting is that as I said, everything I do with like kind of 1,000%. I played sports my whole life, and then I started working out. So I'm one of those people that works out every day. Not like I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not trying to like, oh, I want to have giant arms or whatever the thing is. It's literally just an outlet for me. I wake up in the morning. I spend about 3 or 4 hours writing and drinking coffee. And at about noon or 1 o'clock every day, if I don't go running or go lift weights or ride a Peloton bike, I will explode. Like my whole body will just become like a maniac because I've had too much caffeine and I have too much energy anyway. And so every day I just do that sort of thing. I'm not dedicated to the whole working out thing like I was in college, where I was where I was counting protein and stuff. Like those days are behind me at this point. Now it's just sort of a reflective thing or a reactive thing I do every day.
I was counting carbs 12 ounces at a time. What I was doing at that age. Listen, I love talking to you. You're fat. You give so much in interviews. You're an amazing person to talk to. I really can't thank you enough for showing up and giving us your time. I hope you had a blast.
Absolutely.
I know I did. So, do you have anything like? I want to definitely plug anything you have coming up.
Last week, an episode of Tracker I was on aired, so I think that's on Paramount Plus if you didn't see that. A movie I did called The Greatest Ever. I think I posted a thing on my character so far. That's an independent film I did in Massachusetts. That movie will come out, I think, in the beginning of April. And then the big one that I don't know dates on yet is a movie called The Order that I did with Jude Law and Nicholas Hoult. And that movie is the movie's finished, and I think they're just trying to iron out kind of where it's going to land at this point. But that would be a really interesting movie. That's a true crime story about essentially the guys who founded domestic terrorism. It's going to be an interesting movie. It's got some. I'll put it to you this way: everything that sort of happened at the Capitol building a few years ago would have been proof that these guys won. It'd be proof that these guys, everything they started actually worked.
I was to see if Josh or Zaz here had any questions. I know they were pretty eagerly talking about Deadshot earlier in our research phase.
Oh yeah, mine was just a dumb like fanboy question. It was just like, you play Deadshot. I was like, and you don't have to answer this, but blink twice into the camera if James Gunn has called you for an Infinite Crisis like cameo of any sort.
Well, I think I clips too quickly. So I played the first Deadshot live action character, and I think the second was Will Smith. I think Will Smith was the second one. And so I got Eclipse, like basically I got erased from the Deadshot world because he's such a big name. But what was funny about that is that was Smallville. I played Deadshot. I played him on the last season. They had all sorts of things they wanted to do with him. They created what I thought was an amazing character. I got to do 2 episodes. And then, of course, the show was done. And then it came back in Arrow, and then Will Smith played it and all that. I don't think I got to actually live out what I wanted to with that character because from the very first episode I did, the way they introduced him, man, he was good. You could have had so much fun with that character with that monocle. Oh, it was so cool.
They just launched all the characters you've been waiting. Like they're like, all right, guys, everybody's been watching Smallville for all these seasons. Guess what? Fan service. And by the way, Alan Richardson, Aquaman too. Like just everybody was just like all the villains and like superheroes. They just kind of pumped into us season. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. But yeah.
I wish I got to do a lot more of that Deadshot character.
So much fodder for you. Like at that point, yeah.
So much. One funny story about Deadshot is he had a Southern accent, and we did the first take the way he was played, and one of the producers from way back in Video Village goes, "Lose the accent," and I was like, "Hold on." Walked over to Video Village, and I was like, "Hold on. I understand what you just said, but I've created this entire character, and part of him is this accent, and when you just say lose the accent, you need to give me a minute to figure it out then because you just kind of took the rug out from under who I think this guy is and where he comes from and a lot of other things." And he got real quiet and he looked at me and he goes, "Do you want to keep the accent?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, okay, go ahead, fine, do it. Later that day, I'm walking through the set, if you will, and that producer comes around the corner and he comes up to me and stops me and he goes, "Hey, you, come here." And I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he goes, "The accent, you had to keep the accent, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did actually." And he goes, "Well, you were right." And I was like, "Thank God." I thought he was going to.
Yeah.
Like, you can go home. We found another actor who's going to do it without your stupid accent. But yeah, because I think that because the way that we presented it with the duster and the hat and everything, it made more sense to me that he was that he had it. So I just wanted to keep it, and they let me. So thank God.
Well, in your demo reel, and I don't remember which project it was, you do another Southern-ish accent. Wasn't straight up Southern. It was, yeah, and it was killer. Like you're yelling in this particular clip. You're angry, you're upset, and you still carried it through. And it felt so natural to me watching. And yeah, you made the right call.
Oh, that is Unexpected Guest, which is one of my short films. Whenever I play with a Southern accent, I always play with a buddy of mine who's a dude named Johnny Gaines, who he ran the bull at a place called Saddle Ranch in Los Angeles. It's a long story, but Johnny Gaines was from Mississippi, and Johnny Gaines was very serious with his accent, and he had a lot of things he liked to say and do. But Johnny Gaines would walk around, and he'd come up to me and be like, because Johnny Gaines always had a couple drinks in him. Johnny Gaines would be like, "Stryker," and he would always. So we'd always have fun messing with Johnny Gaines. And I swear to God, my entire friend group from my early 20s has better Southern accents than I'll ever have, because we were all playing Johnny Gaines the entire time. It was unbelievable, so much fun.
Beautiful. And with that, we're going to get out of here. End on a high note. That's an amazing everything. Thank you so much. I hope you had a great time. Right. And let's get out of here. Everybody have a great evening. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you subscribe, it does help us. I know everybody says that, but it really does help the numbers. So give us a thumbs up, subscribe. Have a wonderful evening. Have a great one. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Be safe out there. Treat each other well.